Hello everyone, it's Shannon here with Waffle Flower Crafts. In today's video, we're going to play with Waffle Flower's water media mat and combine it with some ink smooshing in a controlled sort of fashion. I have 3 ink colors on the right, as well as an A2 panel of watercolor paper. I'm going to create a background, and to start, I'm going to take the ink cubes and apply them directly onto the water media mat in sort of an oval fashion. Started with the yellow, my lightest color, and then I circled it with the blue. Now I've sprayed it with several sprays of water, and then I'll take my watercolor panel, flip it over, and press it down into the ink. I'm going to make sure I press all over so that ink gets to every edge of the paper. Once I'm done pressing, I'll flip the panel over and you can see how beautiful our background is. I really love how the ink kind of stays put a little bit on this silicone surface. It just lends itself to some really cool and much more controlled ink smooshing. Now I'll just clean off the mat with some baby wipes. So I'm not quite done with this technique. I would like to play with it a little bit more here, so I'm going to try applying my inks in kind of stripes. Starting with my lightest shade again, this is just to avoid cross-contamination. If I started with blue and then applied some yellow, I could possibly touch my yellow ink pad to the blue ink and contaminate my pad, so definitely want to start with your lightest shades first. I just spritzed it with several sprays of water, and now I'm taking my A2 panel of watercolor paper and just pressing it into that liquid ink. Once I've pressed all around, I'll flip the panel over and to reveal the background. Really pretty. Love kind of that ombre look that I got by the stripes. And right now I just didn't get the ink all the way to the edges, so I'm just pressing the edges of the paper into that liquid ink that's on the surface of the mat. Now I'll set that aside to dry, and I'll clean my mat with some baby wipes. Just a note, some inks will stain your mat. To see whether they'll stain, you can test them on the back side of your mat. Now I'm going to move on to coloring some images. These images are from the Be Him stamp set. I just stamped them in VersaFine Onyx Black ink onto some Bristol paper, and now I'm going to watercolor them in with these inks. I'm going to take these little cubes and just press them into the palette wells that are on the mat, and it's awesome that these little cubes fit perfectly inside, and I'll just spray some water into the mat and use that to kind of mix with the ink and kind of get it a little bit more liquidy, especially lighten up this blue a little bit because it is very bright, just to add a little shadow here and there on the panda. Once I'm done with the panda, I'll move on to his little bow tie. I'm going to color the bow tie yellow, and then I'll add a little shadow with that orange color, which really makes that bow tie kind of pop a little bit. It's really nice, these images. There's not much you have to color, so it just makes it for a really quick and easy card, especially with that really fast background that we created. And I also colored in that little ribbon stripe on the top hat. Now I'll set those aside, clean my mat real quick here, just use the baby wipe again to clean those wells, and my mat is all clean.